There's a 20-person shortlist for this year's Golden Boy Award. That is the luminaries of the world, football writers, led by Tutto Sport, picking the best performers, usually across Europe. We've got 10 of the best here for you to pick your personal 5, Stevie.
Right, well, I'm going to start at number 5 and I'm going to go with Ansu Fati. Now, you might say that he hasn't seen that much of the field, but it's not really about how long you're on the field, it's about what you do when you're on it. And this kid has been absolutely sensational. You know, he has get on the field because Neymar didn't come, Dembele's injuries, Suarez injury. But if I'm Barcelona, I'm looking at this kid and going, you know what? This is now a bona fide option for us if we need a game changer. Because that's what this kid is now and will be for his career. So great news for them, but even better for Ansu Fati.
And kid being the optimum word, now the youngest Barcelona player to represent them in an official game. That's an accolade once held by Leo Messi. Moving on.
Number 4, Phil Foden. If this guy was playing at maybe 90% of every other team on the planet, he would be playing every week. I mean, he's that good. But unfortunately, he's behind, I mean, Mahrez, Sterling, Bernardo Silva. I mean, how is this guy going to get the amount of time on the field that he deserves, in my opinion? Because he has everything. He's got a beautiful left foot, and maybe he's the answer when David Silva leaves at the end of this season, because this is his last year. I hope so, because there's no question for me. He can step in and take over what he's done over the last, what, 5-10 years on the football field.
In that formation, you could see him in either the midfield 3 or the front 3.
This kid's so talented that you just call him a football player, put him on the field, and he'll figure it out.
Okay, so for your top 3 then of this year.
Right, number 3 is going to be Jadon Sancho. Not just for this year, but if you think 18 months ago he was potential, in such a short space of time, he's now a bona fide regular. He's a real talent, he's a real player, and he's a full international, and looks as though he, no question, will be in every single squad that Gareth Southgate is going to pick for England. As I said, just pure talent, excitement, and the fact that he's only 3 tells you that there's another couple of players who are just as talented but have made just a little bit more impact.
Okay, we'll get on to them. With Jadon Sancho, would you recommend that he moves after this year with Borussia Dortmund, or do you think there's still a lot of development for him to make in the Bundesliga?
I would suggest a lot would depend on the strides that Dortmund make this year. If it becomes another season that they've had over the last 2 or 3 years where it peters out at the end, then I would say yes. Okay.
So, coveted places, top 2 for you.
Right. Number 2, Mason Mount.
Oh.
I mean, you talk about an impact. This guy has gone from being on loan at a championship side, and albeit making a difference to them, but to step into the Premier League from the get-go and have the weight of pretty much Chelsea's attacking force on his back, he's been like a duck to water. I mean, he's scored goals, he's created goals, he's done his fair share of hard work. And for somebody so young to already be in a position where he's almost first on the team sheet at Chelsea, I mean, what a leap. And quite frankly, he deserves it. He looks like a real character. Always got a smile on his face. So not just on the field, but must be fantastic in the dressing room as well.
Yeah, this award is really as much about development as actual achievement at this stage, and his development over the past year, incredible. So who's number 1 out of all of these?
I don't think it should be too difficult.
Joao Felix?
You think?
Yeah.
Go on, man. I mean, what you just said is correct. You talk about development, you know, it's one thing to play in the Portuguese league. It's another thing to step in to La Liga with a price tag of what, 120 million on your shoulders?
126.
126, and then take an extra step and produce. You know, I thought the one failing this kid had would he be strong enough? Yes, he's got all the technical ability in the world, He reads the game, he can score goals, but can he really stand up to defenders when they try to pull him down and kick him and punch him and push him? And the answer is yes. He's shown it already. Some incredible runs with the ball at his feet, bouncing defenders off him, and again, you talk about now a bona fide star in world football in such a short space of time. So, listen, if I've got a choice and I'm picking a team out of this lot, the first one I'm taking before anybody else gets him, Joao Felix.
And after that, 3 Englishmen, and also Ansu Fati at Barcelona. Not a bad list.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. As always, pick your top 5 or pick your top 10. Let us know where Stevie's right, where he's wrong. He's never wrong.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.